Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I will be talking about masculine energy and why it is so attractive. Let me take this off. So I do these YouTube lives, and I'm trying to do this once a week, every Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys find this video content of value, I have my link in the description down below. You guys can send me a donation, stuff like that. But anyways, let's get started and talk about what masculine energy is. Okay. So I would like to start off with a recap of what I talked about before, which is give me 1 second. Masculine energy is calm. Masculine energy is calm. Okay. Now, what you focus on grows. What you think about expands, and what you dwell upon determines your destiny. Robin Sharma. Okay, so be careful what you focus on. Every day, guard your mind. Guard your mind every day. Okay, so blaming others will always put you at a downward spiral. Accepting where you are, then figuring out a solution, that's the way to do it. That's how you become better. But most people do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. They're avoiding the pain of putting in the time, trying to become better. What's up, Bree? They're avoiding the pain of trying to become better because it takes too much time. I don't see any instant results yet, so why am I going to do it now? Okay, we do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. Okay, remember what your focus is. What you focus on expand. Okay. Are you focused on a problem, or you focus on a solution? Most people focus on problems. And then, what's worse, they blame it on other people. What good does that do? You can only begin to get better when you acknowledge your faults. So you have to understand where your faults are. And if you are comfortable blaming yourself, you don't have to announce it to the world. You don't have to be like, oh, yeah, it's my fault. Just be like, you know what? What were some of the things that I could gain from this? What were some of the things that I could learn from this experience? Even though it didn't go the way that I wanted and I'm pissed off and I'm mad right now, what are some of the things that I could learn right now where I could learn to better handle it when I get when I get older, right? Or when the next time it happens, how do I get better? This is why having a supportive people, right? You are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. Having a supportive group, people, and not just those quote unquote feel good type of people, just to have you around to make you feel good about yourself. And I think that's important. But also, you need people that's also realistic and that knows how to, word some of the things that they say. So here's an example of what I like to say to people. I don't like to give advice, especially if they don't want it. So I like to ask. I'm like, would you like my opinion? And they be like, no, I don't, or yes, I do. Okay? Because when I ask them and they want it, well, guess what? I'm going to give them my honest opinion. But even so, I'm still going to word it in a certain way where it's not going to offend them. Well, this is what I see, and this is how you could do it better. I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say is, would you like me to give you my opinion? They say yes, and I'm going to say, well, this is just my observation, and from what I've seen, this is, and then blah, 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 blah. And then that's how I continue from there. And then that way, it kind of softens the blow a little bit. And then they could acknowledge it and be like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I could become better. And I'm like, okay. And then you start asking them questions, because everybody knows now that whoever is asking the question is in control of the conversation, right? But when you ask them the question, they feel like they have in control. And being control is a subtopic of what I'm going to be talking about today too, because it's very important to understand, masculine and feminine energy and why control seems like this. Anyways, I don't want to spoil it. Hold on, just let me continue with this. Okay, so you can only get better when you acknowledge your faults. This is why having supportive people, okay, not just the feel good type of people in your life, right? You're here because of yourself and how you can get out of this, right? And do you need help? Who is someone that you know and can trust that may be able to step in and probably listen to you? So like, just understanding this. Look, women, you ladies love to solve your problems by talking about things. You ever notice you could talk all day? What's up, Kaz? Adriana? You could talk to your girl best friend, right? Your best friend, your girls or whatever. Maybe you're having brunch. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And it goes in circle, right? It just goes on and on and on. And then you're like, damn, it feels so much better now. I feel so much better talking about this. That's how y'all solve your problem, right? And then men, we like to go hide out. And then you're like, what? He's ignoring me now? Like, no, that's how I do that, okay? And when I'm pissed off, please just, I need my space, okay? This is why I created this room, okay? With everything in my background that I love, okay? Video games, Pokemon, you name it, right? We like to go to our man caves, maybe play video games and kind of let off our steam over there, right? Just let it go. That's how we feel good about ourselves. All right. So now back to our first slide that I'm going to be talking about. First slide of masculine energy, why it is so attractive. Let me take a sip. Why it is so attractive. Now, before stepping into masculine energy, I like to say that we all have masculine and feminine energy, okay, in our bodies, and both masculine and feminine, okay? It has nothing to do with gender. Both males and females have them, okay? Typically, one of these energies, they're more dominant. So what is your dominant energy? What is your dominant essence, okay? Now, I want to talk about what masculine energy is, okay? Masculine energy is stable. It's more predictable. It's easy. It's pretty linear, right? Its strengths are willpower, clarity, focus, overcoming challenges, finding a way in, not a way out, without complaint, having a purpose, having a drive. You ever notice that it's very linear, right? We're very one-way focused, logic and reasoning, right? That's how we like to solve our problems, logic and reasoning, right? That's why having a purpose in life, an emotionally compelling reason to live and not just to exist, it's important to have that. And men that don't have that, or I'm sorry, not just men, but for the sake of this video and for the rest of my videos, I'm just going to use men as more masculine and women more feminine. That's what the majority is, okay? So I'm just going to keep it as that. So why having a purpose in life? If you're a guy, you're a masculine dude, you got to have a purpose. You got to have a focus. You got to have a drive. You got to be where you want to be, right? So masculine energy likes to create structure and rules, okay? So it knows how to apply logic and reasoning, okay? So the key word there is to create, okay? And I'll explain about that later. Masculine energy is very linear, very point A to point B, and this is how you could get to C. Well, feminine energy is about opening up to receive love. It's feelings, okay? Feelings. So masculine energy up here, feminine energy in here, okay? Feelings, your heart. Feminine energy is about opening up to receive love, feelings, bonding, connecting, relationship labels, your flow, dynamic. What's dynamic? Dynamic is constant change. It's being able to adapt, right? Adaptability. And feminine energy is allowing. It's allowing. Her moves are usually unpredictable. Her, okay, feminine woman. Her moves are usually unpredictable and cannot always be explained by the rational mind. It's not rational. You ever notice your feelings are not rational? You can't help but feel this way, even though like you're trying to logic and reason it. You're like, okay, I get it. My husband, my whatever, he works so hard for this family. He works so hard. And I love him or whatever, right? That's what you would say, right? I love him for doing whatever, right? Let me get into my girl voice. I love him. I want to make but I just can't help but feel that he's not around when I want him to be. Like I want him more, but I just can't help but feel this way, right? You can't explain your feelings. You ever notice that? It's you can't rationally, you can't explain it. You cannot explain why you feel that way. He's doing all this for the family to support, provide, protect, but yet something's missing. Something's missing, right? So this is why sometimes she will love you one day and then kind of act cold and distant another. It happens. It happens. And you're like, and if you're a guy and you're experiencing this, you're like, wait, she just told me that she loved me about like 2-3 days ago, and now she's kind of acting a little cold and distant. And then the last thing you ever want to do as a guy is to be logic and reason. Like, hey, you know what? You told me you love me, and now you're not even saying that anymore. It's like, no, just let her have her moment. Women are like the weather. Okay, sometimes clouds will get in the way, but eventually the sun will shine, and that's okay. And all you have to do is just kind of let it happen. Just let it happen. She will come to you. But what you can do is provide her a little bit of certainty, because that's where masculine energy is. You're her rock. You're her rock in her ocean. You're providing her certainty. Let her know. Hey, baby, I've noticed that you've been a little quiet. Is anything on your mind? Like, what's going on? No, I don't want to talk about it. Well, I do want you to talk about it, because whenever you talk about it, you feel a lot better. And I want you to feel a lot better. So he's caring about you, and he's giving you that certainty, like, what's going on? All right. Now, feminine energy is more circular. Okay. Everything is interconnected and moves through its own cycle. Not about point A to point B, but how to get to any destination that she wants, even if there's no map. It's creativity. So remember when I was telling you about like the word creativity, it starts from here. Because if you experience other people, that's why men and women, okay, we have both energies. It's what you're more dominant in. Okay, if your dominant energy is masculine, okay, you still have to tap into your feminine energy and understand, like, hey, you know what, if there's something that I always wanted to do, but all my homies always gives me a lot of bullshit about it, or like, you know, I want to do this, but you know, I maybe I don't want to do a 9 to 5, maybe in the meantime, but I don't want to do that forever. So but I want to create something. What is it that you want to create? Well, maybe you're very good at art, or maybe you're very good at dancing, or maybe you're good at sports or whatever, right? Or video games or whatever. And you want to try to do something, but like the world kind of views it as like, it's like you can't really make a living off of that, or you can't do that forever or whatever, right? So you don't do it. So you're not aligning your mind with your heart. Or not being able to talk about certain things like your feelings, because when you talk about your feelings, it's considered soft. You're weak at that point. There's a difference between being weak and being vulnerable. Being weak, no one wants a person that's weak. The weak does not survive. Being vulnerable, on the other hand, you're going to have, that's your superpower. Being vulnerable, being understanding of, you know what, maybe I'm not where I want to be right now. And luckily, I'm okay with talking to myself and kind of calming myself down. Or maybe I have a friend that listens to me that could calm me down too, right? Or that's willing to listen to some of my nonsense sometimes, right? Because we all have those moments. But eventually, I could snap out of it, and I'm going to have this creative power right here, and then use that and align it with my masculine, my mind, and stay focused and stay laser focused, breaking through barriers, overcoming challenges, right? So if there's something that you want to do, go for it, right? Go for it. So creativity is more feminine, right? And I talked about this before where, you know, example is if you just listen, right? Circular. Feminine energy is very circular, right? If you listen to her and go on and on about what happened and you truly, truly listen and you understand her, most of her problems will go away. But what ends up happening is, remember, I was like, overcoming challenges, breaking through barriers. We like to solve problems. That's very linear. Point A to point B to C, right? That's how men like to communicate. And women, since they're more circular and men are like this, you're going to have conflict if you guys don't understand or speak the same language. So what I'm saying is, look, guys, if your woman is talking, quote unquote, complaining about maybe something that happened at work or something that's happening, right? Sit down and listen to her. Don't try to solve her problems. And if you are going to solve her problems, let her know. Do you want me to listen, or do you want me to give you my opinion? And most of the times, she's going to want you to listen. But if she wants your opinion, understand that don't be brutal about it, but take a step back and whatever you say, just kind of tone it down so that she can understand it. Okay. Now, second slide. Why it is so attractive. Also, guys, press 1 if you're here so that I know. I don't know if my thing got stuck. Why it is so attractive. Okay. So I want to start out with a Tony Robbins quote. Thank you, Adriana. What makes a relationship works are things in common. What makes a relationship passionate are things that are different. Different in energy. Masculine and feminine energy. And remember, there's no gender. So you could be a dude and be more feminine. That's fine. Okay. There's no gender involved. Okay. Why it is so attractive to feminine energy. Okay. Why masculine energy is so attractive to feminine energy. Feminine women love it because they look for a partner to protect them. They want to feel safe. And they're looking for the energy of protection, right? Provide and protect. Feeling safe and comfortable means she knows that she can trust you to protect her from harm. She could trust you, or me, right, to protect her from harm. And what does that mean? Either from you or from other people. And what does that mean? Like safety, the word safety is kind of thrown around kind of like loosely. But her feeling safe and comfortable means that she knows that when shit hits the fan, she wants to know that you're not going to be this dude that acts erratic and yells and blows up and screams and jealousy, all those type of emotions. It's not a very loving type of energy, right? And if you really think about it from her standpoint, right, feeling safe and comfortable means that she can trust you to protect her from harm, either from you or from other people. And if you look at it from this perspective, how can she relax if you're supposed to be her rock in her ocean, but you're all here emotionally unstable, yelling, screaming, God forbids being physically violent or verbally abusive, right? She knows that the confidence isn't just from the outside. Isn't your confidence is not just from the outside, what you do to get her, but you're a competent man, what you do to keep her. So we're talking about attainability and sustainability. To keep her safe away from harm, then she will be in her feminine. This is how she can feel you. So feeling her feminine essence, right? Her dominant essence. She wants to feel you. She wants to feel your strength. She can't feel your strength if you're out there just wild and yelling, screaming, punching, verbally abusive, being controlling. That's another thing, right? So she wants to feel your strength. And also, she also needs to understand that you could have her feel heard and understood. She wants to know that she's heard and understood. Continue to court her. Continue to date her. That's why, guys, if you're in a relationship and you're not dating and courting your woman, guess what's going to happen? Another man will. Okay? Feminine energy is about feeling, right? It's about opening up to receive love. If she doesn't feel appreciated, if she doesn't feel your love, if she does not feel your strength, what makes you think she's going to want to stay around? And this is from a guy's perspective, okay? And you're like, well, that's too much work. Then don't be in a relationship. Don't be in a relationship. But I want to be with. Then you got to put in some work. It's like, I had a guy at a gym. He was like, Mitchell, do I have to continue to work out for the rest of my life? I was like, if you want to be healthy, I guess. Like, I was like, if you look at the physiology of a human, we're not meant to sit around. Not for that long. But because of what we've created, where we're at now, that's why we're sitting most of the time. But still, you got to be active. You got to be moving. If you don't move it, you lose it. For real. And I'm not just saying that because I got bars. I got no bars. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to move it. You got to move. What's up? What's up, Large? So, continue to court her. If you don't, another man will. Okay? And all this is assuming that she's a happy, healthy individual. Okay? All this is to assume that she's a happy, healthy individual. Now, but if men can understand that women are like the weather, just like what I said, by letting go of the attachment that they have with her, allowing her to come and go as she pleases without overstepping boundaries, okay, because that's important. Because ultimately, it is her choice to choose you. It is always her choice, okay? It's not like the movies that you see in Hollywood. It is where you chase her down and she's like, oh my God, right? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So it's not like those Hollywood movies that you've been watching, okay? That y'all been told a lie, okay? It's her choice to choose you while he, the guy, does the pursuing in the beginning. Because this is how seduction works, okay? Okay, while he does the pursuing, and all he has to do is to create the opportunity for sex to happen. That's all he has to do. Create the opportunity, right? Under her choice. It is her choice. I didn't say this. My coach taught me, Coach Corey Wayne, so shout out to you. Thank you. Maybe one day I get to talk to you. Anyways, that is how seduction works. By getting closer and closer till you end up inside of her. How else are you supposed to reproduce, right? You don't watch movies, TV series, K-dramas. Women love that, right? You're there to create an opportunity for sex to happen. So, I want to talk about how society nowadays, society and control. Society and control. What does that mean? Be an attractive guy by doing attractive things. What are attractive things to you? If you're a masculine dude, right? Go for your goals. Make up your mind and then go for it. You ever notice breaking through barriers, taking risks, overcoming challenges, having a purpose, a drive, a mission? Those are all very masculine energy, right? That's very attractive. If you see a woman that you like and she's sitting there drinking her coffee at a Starbucks, well, guess what? You go and you talk to her. And you want to get to know her and be like, hey, I just couldn't leave without saying hi. What's your name? And of course, there's certain games to that too, right? You got to have some Riz, if you will. What's up? Is it Yakko Warner? What's up? I'm doing well. How you doing? So be attractive by doing attractive things. Stop asking women what they want, okay? I talked about this before, but excuse me. Stop asking women what they want and just give them what they want. And what I mean by that is, excuse me, it doesn't mean that if you're not sure of something that you can't ask. That's not what I'm saying. But hear me out, okay? Stop asking what they want, meaning I've seen so many videos on YouTube, TikTok, etc., right? They're making all these videos of like, oh, how much does he have to make in order for you to date him? And it's like, do they care? Maybe. Do they care that much? Not really. Okay? Not really. Because everyone out here right now, that we're more divided than ever. We're more separated than ever. And then we're going against each other. When in reality, we need each other to reproduce. Let's be real, okay? Let's be real. So we get upset when others don't do the things that we want. So like I said, they make YouTube videos, they make TikToks, they make reels on Instagram, they make all these little short contents, you name it, whatever you want to call it. They're talking about it and how they should bend to our reality. Thoughts on Johnny Depp? Give me a little bit more on what you want me to talk about on his thoughts. So, anyways, they're talking about how they should bend to our reality. Like, that's not really a relationship. You don't go into a relationship expecting the other person to change for you. That's not how it works. And if you're going to do that, just best believe that your relationship's not going to last very long if that's what you want. Or maybe you have someone that's very easy to control. And maybe that's your thing, right? But what if they're like, hey, you know what? I'm tired of your shit. Don't be mad when they leave, right? Do you like his movie or just what you think of him? I think he's cool. I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, I think he's cool. I don't know so much about what happened. Is it Amber? Amber? I don't know. I forgot her name. But there was this big, huge court case. That's beyond me. Okay? Anyways. Now, let's go back to the word control, right? But as we all know, control is an illusion. Okay? Control is an illusion. The only way we really have, the only control we really have are control over our actions and what we say. What we do and what we say. Give me 1 second. Okay. And if you think about it, it makes sense. It makes sense logically. But the illusion of control. What is control? The illusion of control. Control gives us a feeling of order, some stability, and some safety. That's what control is. Thoughts on John Depp? John Depp again after his ex. I don't follow so much. No, he's not dating anymore. Okay. So, because controlling personalities is usually driven by high levels of anxiety to feel safe, right? What does feeling safe feel like? Certainty. That's one of our basic human needs, is certainty. Another one is love, right? Another one's contribution. There's 6. Off the top of my head, there's 3 more, right? There's 3 more. Go look it up. Because Mitchell can't think of it right now. So it's controlling personalities is usually driven by high levels of anxiety to feel safe. Behind almost every controlling action is fear. Every controlling action. So if you think about it, what's the example? Anger. Behind anger is always fear. So how could this relate to our energy, right? How could this relate to this type of energy, right? Let's take a step back and look at where you're at. What information are you consuming? Every day, stand guard at the door of your mind, okay? What are you consuming? So a quote by Aristotle is, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." Excellence is not a singular act. It's a habit. It's little things that you do continuously. That's how you become better. Okay? So think about, what are you constantly consuming? What you do repeatedly? What are your habits? If you're out there just consuming content and you're just doing it just to laugh because you need an escape to feel good, because you're not doing everything that you can to feel better, well, guess what? Your life is not, you're going to be in this constant cycle of, I need this to feel better. And what happens when you don't have it? You become dependent on it. Okay? And here it is. The same goes with the other side of the coin. If you continue to do mediocre things, well, you're going to continue to live a life of mediocrity. I choose not to. I try to choose life to live a life to the fullest, to where I want to be. And sometimes I need a bit of a break, and that's fine. But eventually I want to be there to create, not just to consume. I'm consuming information so that I could create better. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy. Okay? Tony Robbins, people will do more to avoid pain than they do to gain pleasure. So it is much easier to just put the blame on other people and not work on our own personal problems. That is not where strength lies. If you're a guy and you're just constantly blaming other people, and then you bitch and complain about it to your wife or your girlfriend, well, guess what? It's not going to last very long. Oh, wow. All right. So here it goes. Lastly, I got one more slide today. It's not going to be a very long live. So here it is. Last slide. The last slide is called vacillating, okay? How to utilize your feminine energy if your energy is more masculine. How to utilize your feminine energy as your strength, right? Use this feeling, the thing that you've always wanted to do, and that you have aligned yourself with your mind and your heart, and then you're going to be unstoppable. Okay, it is about finding that balance between yourself, right? So if you're more masculine and you just need to balance that feminine, okay, just balance it off. Okay, maybe you're 60% masculine and then 40% feminine, or maybe I don't know, you just have to know where you're at. Okay, it's about finding that balance. Our society kind of tells us to only be that one, right? Oh, you're soft if you're talking about your feelings, right? It's very, damn, you need therapy? What's wrong with you? It's like, no, there's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong of trying to protect your mind, because everything starts with thought. Thoughts creates emotions, emotion creates feelings, and feelings are what drives behaviors. Okay? Everything you see in this world is because of where it started here. Okay? We wouldn't have iPhones. Okay? We wouldn't have internet. We wouldn't have Wi-Fi. We wouldn't have this mic. I wouldn't be able to communicate with you if nothing started from a thought. Okay, let's think about that. Nice seeing you. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you, Adriana. Appreciate you. Okay. Now, our society is telling us to be one. I'm telling you to find your balance between the two. Know what your dominant essence are, and then find out your balance. Kind of like the yin and the yang. But here I am. I'm going to be talking about vacillating. Okay. When you vacillate between energies way too long, or you stay in that way too long, and you're in that relationship, okay, hear me out. And I'm not saying that you cannot, if your dominant energy is more masculine, that you cannot tap into your feminine energy a little bit. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that it is your behaviors that is causing her to be kind of repulsed by you. Meaning that if she's kind of looking at you as a guy, you're the man in the relationship, and you're masculine, and she's more feminine, and she's looking at you as you're the rock in her ocean. And when you got at her, you were all confident, you was feeling good, and then now when things don't go your way, well, guess what? You start bitching, you start complaining, and then you start bringing your job back home, and you're like, oh, this is what my job, and this is what's pissing me off, instead of finding a solution. And now it's been 6 to 12 months, maybe even 1.5 years down the line, and you're still bitching and complaining about what you don't like, and you don't have any motivation to do anything. You don't have a drive. You don't have a purpose. You stop dating and you stop courting her, and she doesn't feel appreciated. What makes you think anybody wants to stay with you? Just think about it. Who wants to stay with somebody like that? So if you really understand where you want to be and who you want to become, then go for what you want, because that's more masculine, okay? But you need that feminine energy. Tap into that to create, so then you can stay laser focused, so that you could do the things that you always wanted to do. Moving forward, okay? But yeah, it's this type of behavior that you're doing that's causing her to be repulsed by you. When you act like a bitch, she's gonna start treating you like a bitch. Hands down. That's what's gonna happen. And then you can bitch and complain about it to your homies, but hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it's still on you, right? You have to participate in your own rescue. No one's coming to save you. Nobody cares about your problems. You have to deal with it. What I mean like this is typically a woman will put up with your bullshit for about 6 months to maybe a year, 12 months. And then after that, it starts to fade down. She is like, and then you get these like, damn, like I saw it coming, like it just came out of nowhere. No, she's been feeling like that. She just has not expressed it to you. So you gotta operate from a place of strength versus from a place of weakness. Okay? Weak people don't survive, whether it's in relationships or in life. But if you're vulnerable and you tap into that vulnerability and you're allowing yourself to be like, damn, there's something that I need to do right now because life isn't going the way that I want. And that's how kind of life works. You ever notice everything might be feeling super great, lovely, dandy, and then out of nowhere it just comes crashing down? Or maybe it's a little dip and then it crashes down, or whatever, right? It just goes up and it goes down, just like the weather. What happens after day? There's night. And what happens after night? There's day. And it's been happening like that all... I'm late. Oh my God. It's all good. I would highly suggest you watching this while you're driving or something later on as a podcast. All right, man. But yeah, typically 6 months to about a year, right? It's not that you cannot complain about your problems to her, okay? Excuse me. It's not that you can't complain about your problems to her. Not at all. You could talk about it. Please, talk about it. But if you're just bitching and complaining, you're not doing nothing with your life, and it's been a long ass time, and she's like, I'm tired of this shit, she's gonna find the exits. She's gonna be looking for the exits. And when you're acting, because now, right now, if you're bitching, complaining, you're not finding a solution or anything, now you're acting more like her, like the woman in a relationship. And it's not causing her to trust your masculine core. She can't trust your masculine core. I do believe feelings fade away. Yeah. So usually what happens is when guys ask me, they're like, well, how do I get her back? Well, I always tell them the best way to get someone else to change is to change yourself, not to change other people. Because control and trying to change another person with your control, it's an illusion. It does not exist. The only control you really have is over yourself, of what you do and what you say. Those are the only two things. And if you understand those two things and you act according to your values, your morals, do you have integrity, building your character, those two things will start building your character. And also your intentions too. What are your intentions? Because eventually, look, you can hide yourself, but eventually your real self will bleed out. What's up? What's up, Oppie? What's up, Oppie? Yo, new people, how are you finding me? I'm just curious. Cause anyways, let me go on. All right. Yeah, no girl, no chick in a relationship that's a feminine woman wants you to act more like the girl in the relationship than she is. Okay? She could come to you with the problems, yes. Okay? You have problems, yeah, you gotta deal with it on your own, but find a solution, right? Become confident and then become competent by applying actions repeatedly. You are what you repeatedly do. You are what you repeatedly do. That way, excellence is not a singular act, but a habit. Okay? Now, but as a masculine guy, you should be overcoming those challenges. Not bitch and complain to her like she's your mommy or she's your therapist, because she's not. A lot of guys get into relationships trying to have her listen to his problems, bitch and complain, and then have her do all the shit. Like, damn, like I want a girl like that, just like my mom. Like, no, you're in a relationship, okay? She's gonna be a mommy to your kids. Do your own shit. Well, I want a traditional wife. I want a wife that cooks. Yeah, okay, yeah, she could cook. But you also got to do your part. to make her feel appreciated, to feel heard and understood. Are you dating? Are you courting her? Right? And I hear so many times. I hear guys saying like, "Oh, damn, you whipped Mr. White Knight." I'm like, look, if you really want a girl to bend to your reality so that you could control her, and you have bigger problems behind you. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how many girls you think you could pull. You're gonna get attainable girls, but you're not gonna get those sustainable successes. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. So if you're gonna want to attack me with that, by all means, I welcome you. But if you're not really trying to work on yourself and trying to understand the other person, what makes you think? It's like me trying to communicate with you and we don't even speak the same language, and you're not trying to learn mine, nor am I trying to learn yours. We're just trying to live separately. How are you expected to communicate? And like an example that I gave earlier in one of my other lives was, say for example, you guys are having an argument, and when y'all talked about, hey, you know what? Let's just put this in the past. We talk about it this time. We won't ever bring it up again. Okay? And then she still brings it up. What? And then it pisses you off. Well, guess what? You're in your feminine. You're acting like a bitch now. And when you act like a bitch, she's going to treat you like a bitch. And when that happens, you can bitch and complain. And guess what? You're going to turn her off even more. Right? During those times when she needs you the most to be strong, you better be fucking strong. Otherwise, she's going to be like, dude, this guy's weak. I don't want to be with this dude. There's plenty of other dudes out here. But she will settle for you for a bit. And like I said, character's destiny. Okay? Your attitude is everything. So how are you going to deal with these things when shit hits the fan? Thank you, Cass. So, yeah. I could talk about this all day. Seems like today I'm gonna be having a shorter live. But for the most part, let's do a quick little summary, okay? Let's do a quick little summary. What is your dominant energy? So everybody has we both have masculine and feminine energy, and it's not exclusive to a gender, because energy has nothing to do with gender, but we do have a more dominant energy. Okay, what is yours? Okay. Number 2, why it is so attractive. It is attractive because feminine women love it because they look for a partner to protect and provide, to feel safe, whether it's from you and from other people. Can you protect her and make her feel safe, heard, and understood? Stuff like that. And she wants to have fun. She wants to have fun with you. Okay. And now I talked about society and control, right? We're more divided than ever. We see so many videos up online asking women on the streets, asking how much do they need to make? How much do they need to make? And of course, if you're gonna force a number down her throat, she's gonna poop out a number that you might not like. And then it's like saying like, well, and then when she poops out that number you don't like, well, you be like, well, all shit stinks. It's like, but it smells worse, because here's why. You're looking for a guy that's 6 feet tall that makes 100K. Well, guess what? That's 0. Blah 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 percent, or 1%, or 3%, or something like that. Make her feel bad about choosing the number that you forced. Right? Here, eat this. It don't taste great. Well, you should eat it anyways. That's society and control. Okay. The best way is to work on yourself. Because if you're out there saying there's no good guys or there's no good girls out there, guess what? These are the type of people you are attracting. And you are what you attract. So be careful. Vacillating. Okay? When you vacillate between energies, and I'm not saying, say for example, you're more masculine, and it doesn't mean that you can't tap into your feminine. But what I am saying is, if you stay in your feminine too damn long, right? It's your behaviors that's causing her to be repulsed by you. Because like I said, if you act like a bitch, she's going to treat you like a bitch. That is for masculine energy and why it is so attractive to feminine women. Okay? Understand your essence. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you guys want me to do a specific YouTube video, yo, what's up, Greg? If you guys want me to do a specific YouTube video on a topic, feel free to message me. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Greg, I'll talk to you. I'll message you in a bit after I get off. But yeah, thank you all for staying here today. I really appreciate it. I spend a lot of time doing this. I love doing this, and I want to make sure that more people get to hear it. Anyways, if you guys are interested in more, and you guys want a topic that you want me to talk about, leave it in comments down below, or leave a comment here. If you guys find this video content of value, I have my description down below, PayPal, Venmo, you name it. But yeah, I catch you guys in the next live. I try to do this at least once a week, so I'm gonna do another one next week. Man of my word, I'm gonna do it. All right, man of my word, I'm gonna do it. So I'll see y'all next week, 12 o'clock Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I catch you on the next live. Peace out.